Okay, let's go make our candy corn. But first, always remember to share this so it will save to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. I started with 3 strips of fabric. One yellow strip that's 2 inches, one orange strip that's 3 inches, and one white strip that's 2 inches. First thing I'm gonna do is sew them together. I'm gonna sew the yellow first to the orange. And by strip, I mean I cut off one piece from the bolt, so it's the width of the fabric. Mine is 2 inches by 44-ish, but you can use your scraps. I'm just gonna show you an easy way to make them if you have some strips. You're gonna put them pretty side to pretty side like this, and you're gonna sew. I'm gonna change my thread back to white. You're gonna sew a straight stitch with a 1/4 inch seam all the way down the side. You're gonna open it up and do the white the same way. And then we're gonna iron it, and then we're gonna cut it into our candy corns. So much easier than sewing each individual piece. Back stitching when you start and when you stop, because my grandma said so.
And I need to know, do you like candy corn? Because people either love it or they hate it. I personally love it.
We've sewn this side. Now we're gonna open it up and we're going to sew the white piece to it. We want to sew the white below the orange because that's how candy corn is. Yellow, orange, white. So we're going to put it pretty side to pretty side just like this, and we're going to straight stitch all the way down. Back stitching when we start and when we stop.
I love the candy corn shaped like candy corn, and I love the candy corn shaped like pumpkins. But then again, if it's got sugar in it, I love it all.
This is my ironing situation. Heat resistant pad, wool mat, both from Walmart. Oliso Iron, Missouri Star Quilt Company sent us if you're looking for any of it. And listen, I'm telling y'all all the time where I got my stuff because what I'm doing is trying to keep y'all from having to send me emails because I get the emails asking, where did you get this? Where did you find that? But if you have what you like, use it. You do not have to buy anything I'm showing you. I just want you to know where it came from in case you're looking for it. All right, we're gonna iron this flat and then we're gonna cut our pennants out. And y'all, we're already gonna have candy corns. Instead of sewing all of the pieces together for each individual candy corn, this is already gonna be sewn together. It's gonna be the easiest candy corns ever. Now I'm gonna use mine and some bias tape to make some garland, I guess is what I'm calling it. A banner maybe, but now you could use it for anything you wanted to. It would be precious stuffed in a basket to use for your little lovey for a Halloween happy, whatever you decide to do with it. Cutting mat from Missouri Star, rotary cutter from Missouri Star. Now, I'm gonna lay mine here, and I have folded mine and folded mine. If you're not comfortable, don't do this. Do not mess up all of your pieces. Cut yours one at a time.
I cut mine 5 inches at the top, and then I came down to the center point, which is 2.5 inches, and cut to the tip.
So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna cut from here down to this tip. You can cut yours this way or you can download a template and cut them from that. The next thing I'm gonna do is lay them pretty side to pretty side. I'm going to sew down this side and back up this side. I'm not gonna sew the top because that's gonna be in our bias tape in a few minutes, but I'm gonna sew all of these together, pretty side to pretty side. Straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitching when you start and when you stop because my grandma said so.
I'm just sewing mine with white thread because it's going to be on the inside of my project. Or you could sew these on the outside and that would save you a step. You would not have to turn them and top stitch them. If you sewed them on the outside, you could just use some pinking shears when you were finished. And if I were sewing them on the outside, I would probably still use white thread.
We've sewn them, now we're going to turn them right side out. And I am not a corner clipper. Y'all know this because I always clip my seams. See, I just clipped that seam. It doesn't matter. We're rolling with it anyway, but I'm not clipping anymore. If y'all want to clip the tips of them, I want you to, but I'm not because I already cut a hole in that one. Because I was trying to be a good teacher. And make sure your candy corns point out. My chopstick's going through the end of this one, so dang it. Yes, I could sew it back up, but if I did, it would be shorter than the other ones, and I don't really want that. So I'm just gonna try not to push it out all the way. After I push them out, I'm gonna iron them flat, and then we're gonna top stitch them, and then we're gonna put them on our bias tape. These are precious for whatever Halloween party you have going on. These will be great for a classroom, a party for your little people at home, for your front porch, decorating, for trunk or treat. kind of whatever it is that you're doing this holiday season. And this is way easier to make than if I told y'all to cut all these tiny pieces and sew them together. So I expect all of y'all to make these, every single one of you.
And then be sure to email a photo to hometownquiltcompany@gmail.com. We all want to see.
This is my ironing situation. Heat resistant pad, wool mat from Walmart. Oliso iron from Missouri Star Quilt Company. This is a smaller version of an iron, but it's definitely not a mini. The little one that I have is much smaller than this, and this one is heavy. I absolutely love it. And y'all know I was not into a small iron. It gets super hot, it heats up really fast, it's pretty compact, and it's heavy. All right, after we have sewn, turned them right side out, and ironed them, the next thing we're gonna do is top stitch. Now a top stitch is just a straight stitch that's sewn a little closer to the edge, but you only sew as close as you're comfortable. We're gonna top stitch down this side and down that side on all of our candy corns.
My niece is here. She's in the kitchen, and she's taking the place of the big baby, talking to me while I sew. She's got all the questions, and, you know, I have all the answers, and if I don't, I'll just make them up. She'll never know. Just kidding. And by just kidding, I mean only kinda. She told me one day, Tam, I knew that I could come to you with anything, and you could take care of it. And I thought it was kind of magic that you knew all of the things, and now I'm a grown-up, and I know that when I came to you with stuff, you were like, well, dang, what am I gonna do now? But all you ever said to me is, it's okay, I'll take care of it. She's 27, married, with 3 kids of her own. And she has come to the point in life where she realized that even the grown-ups are just winging it. Or I am. Maybe you're not, but I'm still winging it today.
I have 1/2 inch bias tape, double fold bias tape, and it's called double fold because that's what it does, is it folds in and it folds in again. The first thing I did was folded it in half and found the center. And now I'm gonna put my candy corns on here, and I'm gonna put yellow, white, yellow, white, yellow, white, yellow, but I'm going to try to have them reasonably the same distance apart. Now, if that happens or not, we shall see. Now, I've spaced them out here. I'm going to open my bias tape up, fold it under, and let it close back. I'm going to start stitching right here, and I'm going to stitch all the way down, and whenever I get to my first candy corn, I'm going to open it up, set my candy corn inside, and keep sewing. And I'm going to keep inserting my candy corns until I'm finished, and then I'm going to sew to the other end. Straight stitch, back stitching when you start and when you stop, and you're going to sew this like you would a top stitch, just closer to the edge than normal, but only as close as you're comfortable.
And if you're not paying attention, take a look at the bias tape leaving my sewing machine. It is so satisfying. That's what I think every single time I'm doing a voiceover on something I've made with bias tape. I hope that y'all are enjoying these Halloween projects as much as I'm enjoying making them. Now I want you to drop in the comments what it is you would like to see for fall, Thanksgiving, and Christmas.
Dun, dun, dun! Look at your candy corn. How stinking cute is that? My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.